Shalom, I am Rabbi David. Most people believe that money is neutral. They think $100 bill is just a piece of paper and it does not matter whose hand it comes from. They believe that as long as the money clears the bank, it is good money. This is one of the most dangerous financial lies you can ever believe. In the ancient Jewish tradition, money is never neutral. Money is a spiritual sponge. It absorbs the energy, the intentions, and the spiritual state of the person who holds it. When you accept money from someone, you are not just accepting their currency, you are accepting a piece of their spiritual reality. If you take money from the wrong person, you can actually infect your own financial life with their poverty, their chaos, and their blockages. Today, I am going to issue a severe warning. I am going to reveal the 3 types of people you must never accept money from, no matter how desperate you are. If you take their money, you will carry their poverty. To understand this, we must look at a profound teaching in the Talmud, in Tractate Sanhedrin 26b. The sages discuss the concept of accepting charity or financial support from people who are corrupt or wicked. The Talmud states clearly that those who accept money from such sources become spiritually compromised. They desecrate the divine name and invite judgment upon themselves. The money itself becomes a vehicle for spiritual contamination. This concept is known in Hebrew as tumah, which means spiritual impurity. Tumah is not a physical dirt. It is a spiritual blockage that prevents the light of the Creator from flowing into your life. When you accept money that is laced with tumah, you are bringing a blockage directly into your own financial vessel. It is like pouring contaminated water into a clean well. The entire well becomes undrinkable. And for those who are truly serious about accelerating their journey, for a limited time, I am opening the doors to the Torah Millionaire Business School for just $299. This is where I unveil the complete Torah wealth system. It is the full architecture of ancient wisdom applied to modern financial transformation. The doors are closing soon, so check the link in the comments. The first person you must never accept money from is the chronic complainer. This is the person who always plays the victim. No matter how much money they have, they always talk about how hard life is, how unfair the economy is, and how everyone is out to get them. They operate from a deep, entrenched mindset of lack. In the Jewish tradition, words have immense power. Proverbs 18:21 teaches that death and life are in the power of the tongue. When a person constantly complains, they are speaking death over their finances. They are cursing their own money. When you do business with a chronic complainer or when you accept an investment from them, their money comes attached to that curse. You will find that the money you get from them never seems to multiply. It drains away on unexpected expenses, broken equipment, or sudden emergencies. The money is infected with the energy of lack. The Talmud in Tractate Arachin 15b explains the devastating spiritual impact of negative speech, known as lashon hara. While lashon hara usually refers to gossip, the sages teach that speaking negatively about your own life or your own finances is equally destructive. It is a form of denying the goodness of the Creator. When a person complains about their money, they are essentially telling God that His provision is inadequate. This creates a spiritual barrier that blocks further blessing. When you accept money from this person, you are entering into a financial partnership with someone who is actively blocking divine flow. Their spiritual barrier becomes your spiritual barrier. You might think you are just providing a service or selling a product, but in the spiritual realm, a transaction is a connection. You are linking your financial vessel to a vessel that is leaking. The sages warn that poverty is contagious. It is not contagious through physical contact, but through the transmission of mindset and energy. The chronic complainer is a carrier of spiritual poverty, and their money is the vehicle of transmission. Let me tell you about a man named Gregory. Gregory was a freelance web developer who was struggling to find clients. He was desperate for work, so he took a contract from a man who was notorious in their industry for being a chronic complainer. The client negotiated the price down aggressively, complaining the entire time about how tight his budget was and how other developers had ripped him off. Gregory took the job anyway because he needed the cash. The project was a nightmare. The client demanded endless revisions, complained about every detail, and made Gregory miserable. When Gregory finally got paid, the money felt cursed. The very next day, Gregory's car broke down, and the repair bill was exactly the amount he had just been paid. The money vanished instantly. I explained to Gregory that he had accepted money infected with the energy of lack. The client's poverty mindset had transferred to Gregory's bank account. I told him to never work with that client again, no matter how desperate he felt. Gregory fired the client. It was scary at first, but within 2 weeks, he landed a new contract with a client who operated from a mindset of abundance. That new money multiplied, and Gregory's business finally began to grow. The second person you must never accept money from is the miser. The miser is not just someone who is careful with their money. The miser is someone who hoards money out of fear. They hate parting with a single dollar. When they pay you, they do it with resentment and a clenched fist. In Pirkei Avot, The Ethics of the Fathers, Chapter 5, the sages describe 4 types of character. The one who says, "What is mine, and what is yours, is described as having the character of Sodom. Sodom was a city destroyed not just for its immorality, but for its extreme selfishness and lack of charity. The miser operates with the energy of Sodom. Proverbs 28:22 warns, "A miser rushes after wealth, not knowing that poverty will come upon him." When you accept money from a miser, you are accepting money that was given with resentment. The spiritual energy of that transaction is constricted. Money is meant to flow like a river. The Hebrew word for money, kesef, comes from a root word meaning desire or longing. It is meant to move, but the miser's money is stagnant. When you bring stagnant money into your life, it clogs your own financial flow. The Kabbalistic tradition offers a profound insight into the nature of the miser. The Zohar teaches that money is a physical manifestation of divine light. When a person gives money willingly and joyfully, they are acting as a channel for that light. They expand their vessel, and more light flows in to replace what was given. But the miser refuses to be a channel. They want to be a vault. They hoard the light, terrified of losing it. Because they refuse to let the light flow through them, the light eventually stops coming to them. Their wealth becomes a source of anxiety rather than a source of blessing. When you accept money from a miser, you are receiving money that has been cut off from the divine source. It is dead money. It has no life force, no momentum, and no capacity to multiply. Furthermore, the resentment the miser feels when paying you acts as a spiritual poison. They are essentially wishing that they still had the money and that you did not. This negative intention attaches itself to the currency. You might deposit the check, but the spiritual reality is that the money is fighting against you. It will find a way to leave your life just as painfully as it left the miser's hand. Consider the story of a woman named Sylvia. Sylvia owned a small catering company. She was hired to cater a large wedding for a very wealthy family. The father of the bride was a known miser. He fought Sylvia on every single line item of the invoice. He demanded discounts, threatened to cancel the contract, and made the entire process incredibly stressful. When he finally wrote the check, he handed it to Sylvia with a scowl and told her she was overcharging him. Sylvia deposited the check, but the money brought no blessing. Over the next month, Sylvia's business experienced a bizarre string of bad luck. 3 of her best clients canceled their events. Her commercial oven broke down. Her delivery van got a flat tire. The money she made from the miser's wedding was completely wiped out by these disasters. She came to me in tears, asking why she was being punished. I told her she was not being punished. She was experiencing the spiritual consequence of accepting constricted money. The miser's resentment had contaminated the transaction. I advised Sylvia to implement a strict policy. She would only work with clients who valued her service and paid with a willing heart. She started turning away clients who displayed the miser's traits. Her revenue dipped slightly for 1 month, but then it skyrocketed. By protecting her financial vessel from the energy of Sodom, she opened the door for true abundance to flow in. The third person you must never accept money from is the manipulator. This is the person who gives you money with strings attached. They offer a loan, an investment, or even a gift, but there is a hidden agenda. They use their money to control you, to buy your loyalty, or to make you feel indebted to them. In the Talmud, Tractate Bava Batra 9b, the sages discuss the laws of tzedakah, or charity. They teach that the highest form of giving is when the giver does not know the receiver and the receiver does not know the giver. This ensures that the money is given purely for the sake of heaven, without any ego or control attached. When money is given with manipulation, it ceases to be a blessing and becomes a chain. Deuteronomy 16:19 warns, "Do not accept a bribe, for a bribe blinds the eyes of the wise." A bribe is not just an illegal payoff, it is any money given to manipulate your behavior or compromise your integrity. When you accept money from a manipulator, you are selling a piece of your sovereignty. You are giving them spiritual authority over your life. This creates a massive blockage in your financial vessel because true wealth requires absolute freedom. The story of Abraham in the book of Genesis provides the ultimate blueprint for dealing with the manipulator. After Abraham rescued the king of Sodom and recovered all the stolen wealth of the city, the king of Sodom offered Abraham all the spoils. It was a massive fortune. But Abraham refused to take a single thread or a sandal strap. He told the king of Sodom, "I have raised my hand to the Lord, God Most High, Creator of heaven and earth, that I will not take anything that is yours, lest you say, 'I have made Abraham rich.'" Abraham understood the spiritual danger of the manipulator's money. He knew that if he accepted the wealth of Sodom, the king of Sodom would forever claim ownership over Abraham's success. Abraham's wealth would be tied to a corrupt source. By rejecting the money, Abraham declared his absolute dependence on the Creator. He protected his sovereignty. And because he protected his vessel, God immediately appeared to him in the next chapter and promised him a reward that was infinitely greater than the spoils of Sodom. When you accept money from a manipulator, you are allowing a human being to take credit for your provision. You are stepping out of the divine economy and into a human economy of debt and control. You must have the courage of Abraham. You must be willing to walk away from the manipulator's money, knowing that the Creator has a much greater reward waiting for you. Let me share the story of a man named Martin. Martin was a brilliant software engineer who wanted to start his own tech company. He needed seed capital, and his wealthy uncle offered to fund the entire venture. Martin was thrilled and accepted the money immediately, but the uncle was a manipulator. As soon as the money was transferred, the uncle started making demands. He wanted to approve every hire. He wanted to dictate the product roadmap. He called Martin at all hours of the night, reminding him of who was paying the bills. Martin felt trapped. He was working 80 hours a week, but he felt like an employee in his own company. The stress destroyed his creativity, and the product launch was a failure. The company was bleeding money, and Martin was miserable. He came to me for advice. I told him the hard truth. He had accepted a bribe. He had traded his sovereignty for capital. I told him he had to return the money, even if it meant shutting down the company. Martin had a difficult conversation with his uncle and legally dissolved the partnership, returning whatever funds were left. He was broke and exhausted, but he felt a massive weight lift off his shoulders. 6 months later, Martin built a smaller, simpler version of his software entirely on his own. He launched it without any outside funding. Because he retained his sovereignty, the product resonated with users. It grew organically and became highly profitable. Martin learned that money with strings attached is the most expensive money in the world. You must become fiercely protective of your financial vessel. You must start treating your bank account like a sacred space. Do not let just anyone deposit their energy into it. When you are offered a job, a contract, or an investment, do not just look at the numbers. Look at the person offering the money. Are they a chronic complainer? Are they a miser? Are they a manipulator? If the answer is yes, you must have the courage to walk away. Walking away from bad money is the ultimate demonstration of faith. It is you telling the Creator, "I trust you to provide for me, and I refuse to accept provision from a contaminated source." When you make that declaration, the universe responds with massive abundance. Tell me in the comments below if you have ever accepted money from one of these 3 types of people and what happened afterward. I read every single comment, and I want to hear your stories. If this video opened your eyes to the spiritual reality of money, subscribe to the channel. I am dedicated to bringing you the most profound, transformative teachings of the Jewish tradition. Remember, not all money is good money. Protect your vessel. Shalom, and until next time. But before you go, I know what some of you are thinking. You are thinking that this is easy for me to say, but you have bills to pay. You are thinking that when you are desperate, you cannot afford to be picky about where the money comes from. You believe that you have to take whatever you can get just to survive. This is the ultimate trap of the poverty mindset. The poverty mindset tells you that money is scarce and that God is limited in how He can provide for you. But the Torah teaches that the Creator is the source of infinite abundance. When you accept contaminated money out of desperation, you are actually delaying your true provision. You are settling for a toxic crumb when a feast is waiting for you. The Talmud teaches that a person's livelihood is determined on Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. The money is already allocated to you. Your only job is to create a clean vessel to receive it. When you reject bad money, you are not losing income. You are simply clearing the path for the right income to arrive. Have the courage to say no to the complainer, the miser, and the manipulator. Your financial future depends on it. Furthermore, some of you might be thinking that you can just take the money and ignore the person's negative energy. You think you are strong enough to separate the cash from the curse. This is spiritual arrogance. The sages teach that we are deeply influenced by our environment and the people we do business with. You cannot swim in a polluted river without getting dirty. The energy of the transaction will inevitably seep into your life. It will affect your mood, your decisions, and your financial flow. Do not play games with spiritual laws. The rules of Tuma and Tahara, impurity and purity, apply to money just as much as they apply to anything else. Keep your financial life pure. Only accept money that is given with a willing heart, a positive spirit, and no strings attached. This is the secret of the wealthy. They do not just accumulate money, they curate their money. They ensure that every dollar in their account carries the energy of blessing. And if you are truly serious about accelerating your journey and applying these principles at the highest level for a limited time, I am opening the doors to the Torah Millionaire Business School for just $299. This is where I unveil the complete Torah wealth system, the full architecture of ancient wisdom applied to modern financial transformation. The doors are closing soon. The link is in the comments. I look forward to seeing you inside and helping you build the wealth you were destined to create.